Hi all and welcome to another episode of Kingdom Pets channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, which is an interesting breed with an amazing portfolio. The affectionate, calm, quiet, playful Cavalier King Charles Spaniel has a lovely temperament and is renowned for its gentle disposition and sweet nature. They generally have healthy relationship with other dogs and pets and are extremely friendly with strangers, making them a poor as watchdog but excellent as lap dogs and warmers. These dogs enjoy running and many other activities and will often flush small game from under the ground, such as rats and mice and other small animals. These breeds have an interesting and an extensive history. This breed's roots go back many centuries, sharing the same early history as the smaller King Charles Spaniel or English Toy Spaniel in the United States, despite differing considerably in terms of appearance, especially in the shape of their heads. These Spaniels types have appeared in European paintings since the 16th century, and were thought of as comforters and were primarily owned by the aristocracy. They are particularly associated with King Charles I, whose own spaniel Rogue is said to have been at his side at his execution. However, the breed's name is actually derived from King Charles II, the Cavalier King. He adored the little dogs and ensured that they could escort him anywhere by decreeing that they were allowed into every public building, even the Parliament. It was not until 1928 that the breed was given its name when their standard was drawn up. An interesting legend about these dogs is that in the early 1800s, the Duke of Marlborough loved King Charles Spaniels and kept a number of them with chestnut and white markings. Legend has it that when the Duke went off to fight in the Battle of Belleisle, his wife stayed home taking care of spaniels giving birth. To soothe both the dog and herself, the Duke's wife would press her thumb strongly against the dog's forehead. News arrived that the battle had been won, and soon after the puppies were born with red spots on their foreheads. This was of course just a coincidence possibly, but many believe the marks came from the pressure of the Duchess's thumb. As a result, the coloration called the Belleisle spot was named after the battle, referencing it to the Battle of the Belleisle, where Duke of Marlborough won the battle. And the family continued to breed these dogs, and now even till this day, the color of the dog is called the Blenheim spot because of the color of the redness on the head. Another interesting fact is that back in those days, when the Black Plague and the bubonic plague was all over England and the European countries, these dogs were known as the flea magnet. They were called comfort dogs. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniels were often brought into beds, not just to warm people and keep them comfortable, but they were also meant to attract the fleas that may bite their owners and instead bite the dogs, making them local heroes in those areas. Among their pairings, King Charles Spaniel Cavaliers are a diminutive figure and can range from 12 to 13 inches high and weigh from 13 to 18 pounds, which is around 6 to 8 kilos. It is amongst the largest toy breeds of dogs. The face of the Cavalier is distinctive for its sweet, gentle expression that owes much to its large, round brown eyes. The skull is slightly round and the muzzle is full, but mildly tapered. The long feathered ears, which are set high and wide on the crown, fan forward slightly to frame the face when the dog is alert. The breed is known to be easy to train and extremely affectionate and very playful with kids and other dogs, and require a tempered grooming regime. The life expectancy of the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel is around 12 to 15 years of age. The clinical side of these dogs and their health conditions can range from very young into very old. Usually they get a lot of health symptoms as they grow older. One of these conditions is a heart condition, patellar luxation, hip dysplasia, deafness, the barocephalic airway obstruction syndrome. The luxating patella basically means out of place or dislocated. Therefore, a luxating patella is a kneecap that moves out of its original location. Pet owners may notice a skip in their dog's step or see that their dog are only running on 3 legs instead of the 4. This condition is very painful and the affected dog will cry out in pain and hold up the leg up. Over time, the chronic dislocation will lead to arthritic changes in the knee, loss of motion, and pain would be a common problem, which they will require surgery and be taken to the local vet. With the barocephalic airway obstruction syndrome, it refers to the combination of elongated soft palate, the stenotic NAS, and inverted laryngeal. So in other words, the barocephalic airway syndrome refers to a particular set of upper airway abnormalities that affect the barocephalic dogs. This syndrome is called barocephalic respiratory syndrome, or called the congenital obstructive airway disease. The upper airway abnormalities that occur in this syndrome include the barocephalic breeds are dogs such as the French Bulldog, the Boxer, the Pug, Boston Terrier, English Bulldog, the Bergenzie, the Lhasa Banzo, and the Shih Tzu, and many other ones. So if your dog is any of these breeds, it may have a condition called the barocephalic area obstruction syndrome, which will need surgery to cut a bit of their soft palate out and reduce it back to a normal size so that the airway can allow oxygen freely in and out through the larynx. As always, thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next episode of Kingdom Pets channel.